If you're clicking on this video, it means, hopefully it just means you like my content. But what it probably means that you wanna know what I wish I knew before I started streaming. The top 5 things I wish I knew. And we're gonna dive right into that. These are 5 things I was thinking about, like what would I do if I could go back and tell myself, like, these are the things you should know before you get into this. So these are the top 5 things. There might even be a 6th one that I just thought about, but these are the top 5 things I wish I knew before I started streaming. Number 1, it is okay to make mistakes, just start. So a lot of times we try and overanalyze what we're trying to do, and we try and roadmap everything the way that that way we have like this foolproof plan that'll never fail. But to be honest, you're gonna fall down at times, you're gonna fail at some points, and you're gonna learn from it. That's the biggest thing, to make sure that you learn from these things. But don't let that stop you from starting a new endeavor, whether that be streaming, whether it be starting on TikTok or YouTube or anything like that. I know even personally, it took me a long time to really jump on the whole YouTube train because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, how I wanted my content to turn out, and what I wanted to focus on. And honestly, a lot of that shifted around until I think like the beginning of this year. So these are the things I can promise you. As you start doing these more, you will get better at them. You will also learn more about what you like and enjoy doing. You will also hone your craft and kind of figure out what a niche is and how you can put your own personal spin on things. I can tell you right now that from the very first YouTube video that I created, which you can still find on my channel, to my YouTube videos now, the way that I talk to the camera, the way that I edit my videos and everything, the way I even set up my lighting is 100% different. And I learned it because I slowly and gradually got better at it by doing it. So just start, don't be afraid to make mistakes. It's gonna happen to all of us. I mean, even the best of the best still make mistakes. It is what it is. Don't let that stop you from starting. Number 2, streaming is the fun part, but you're probably not gonna grow from streaming. Now, personally, whenever I first started streaming, I was probably doing it anywhere from about 30 to 40 hours a week. And that was on top of working a full-time job, which I still do, and going to the gym, and then also I honestly think at that time I wasn't even maintaining a personal life. Like I took personal life, I threw it out the window and I said, see you later. I don't need you, I have streaming. If I would have actually sat there and took even 10 hours of that time I was streaming and put it into somewhere else, I'd probably be somewhere much further along in my journey than I am now. So keep in mind, streaming is the fun part of it, but make sure you are taking time for investing in yourself, which is another key point. But investing in yourself, investing in other platforms, taking your content and moving it somewhere else, developing a community outside of streaming is the fun part. It's the part where we get to go live. We get to just be in the moment. We get to interact with the community members and we get to share our experience with people. It's the fun part of the job. And all the other stuff can be fun too, like editing videos. But it's scary at first, and I get it. So don't let that deter you. Make sure you take the time to help your stream grow by doing something off stream. And also too, there is one Twitch strategy that I saw people actually be able to grow from it. And honestly, it's still not a guarantee, it's still a slow process, but there's this one kind of thing that people do where they will take whatever their average viewer count is, whether it's 10, 20, 30, 50, they'll find a game where in the top 3 section or in the top row whenever they stream it at the times that they stream, and they will just continue to do that and find new games that they can slowly bump their concurrent viewership up by finding new people. That is probably the only Twitch strategy I've seen that involves just streaming and being able to grow on stream, which even then, the person that I saw do that, I'm pretty sure networked and actually made connections to help build themselves up as well, and they got involved with other larger communities. So, but again, just keep in mind that you can stream as much as you want, you can stream to your heart's content, but I promise you it's gonna be a slow grind if you do it that way. So make sure you're doing something off of stream to help you with streaming. And also it helps balance out. So that way if you have a bad stream day or a slow stream day, and then you have a video that pops off on TikTok, balance each other out. You're like, sweet, my video got like 1,000 views. This is dope. Number 3, I already alluded to that point, which is invest in yourself, not just your hardware. When we start making money from this and we actually start getting an income from Twitch, which is super exciting, we always think of what can I upgrade? I want a new camera, I want new lights, I want new lens, I want a new microphone, I want a new desk, a new chair. I mean, believe me, I went through all of that stuff and I upgraded plenty of things, but one of the last things that I think that people invest in is probably themselves. And what I mean by that is learning how to edit, or buying a program to edit and then learning it, or taking a class or joining something like Pipeline where you can actually learn how to live stream and you also learn some of the ins and the outs of it, the legal portions of it. It's a great platform to learn on, but reinvesting money into yourself to learn. What's really cool about this is that there's a lot of things that we have to do as streamers, like cameras, photography, videography, editing, social media, community management, audio, network. Like, we literally have to learn so much stuff. It's insane. And I guarantee you there are companies out there that will pay you for those. So if you take time and you learn some of those things, like for instance, I really got into photography and videography, you can make money doing those things. You can get jobs doing those things. You can make side money doing that stuff. I actually have gotten people to reach out to me about product photography because I learned about cameras and streaming. So point being, make sure you're investing in yourself, because if you're investing in yourself and you're growing those skills, it's going to help you with your content creation, but also too, if content creation doesn't work out for you, like as a full-time thing, which is fine, you can then potentially use it to actually make a side business or get a new job. So number 3, don't just invest in your hardware, invest in you. Also too, kind of a weird, cynical thing to say, but at the end of the day, no matter what, how many years and all that other stuff that you go on, you will always be there for you. Number 4, not everyone is gonna like you and your content. One thing you're gonna find is that sometimes you're gonna have people that might not like the way that you stream or like the way that you create content or like how you talk or do things, and that's totally fine. There's gonna be people that just don't like your content, they just don't like you for no reason whatsoever, and that is totally 100% acceptable. You can't please everyone, you can't make everyone happy, and if you try to make everyone happy, you're gonna end up losing yourself, and I'm telling you this right now, being just genuinely you is the best thing you can do. Because trying to fake being someone else, unless you're like Dr. Disrespect or you put on some sort of like super persona like that, if you're trying to fake being someone else, it's not gonna end well. It's not gonna be easy, it's gonna be difficult, it's gonna be hard, and also too, just don't do things for the views, you know, just be yourself, man. Okay, just be yourself. So again, be genuine, stick to you and stick to your core beliefs. And also, again, don't be afraid to put your foot down on stream, and don't just try and bend over to make people happy all the time, because I promise you, it's not gonna work. And then tip number 5, the final one that I have for you, have your friends that will support you, because this isn't easy. Now, what do I mean by support? I don't mean in there throwing bits and subs and pulling up their mom's phone and their phone and then someone else's tablet and stuff and just leaving a million lurks in your stream to get you higher in the viewer list. No, what I mean is make sure you find yourself friends and family members that understand what you're going through and can help you along the way. One of the hardest challenges about this is that it's still a very new career path that a lot of people are trying to take on. It's very difficult. There is a lot of ups and downs. You're constantly judging yourself. You feel like you're being judged by other people. I mean, heck, someone not responding to your DM, you're like, that person saw my DM and they just hate me. And that's why they're not responding to me. Or you see someone tweet about something and you're like, did that person subtweet about me? I didn't know that I really pissed them off that much. Like, I thought it was just a small thing, but they're actually subtweeting about me. Now I feel like crap. There is a lot of energy and mental struggle that can come from this, and it's really difficult. And if you have friends that are going through or understand this journey, or you can confide in and they won't judge you, or they'll be able to give you good feedback on it, or just be open and be an ear to listen, it is extremely important to do that. Another piece of advice that I often give people too is also just, if you have a spouse or a significant other, make sure you have open dialogue with them. Sometimes they might not feel like they're a part of the decision-making process, and that might kind of push them away from streaming, or they might not fully understand it. But if you literally go to them and you're like, hey, I was thinking about doing this for streaming, like, what's your input on it? Or I'm trying to think of some new cool ideas to freshen up the stream. Like, this is what I'm currently doing. Like, what do you have for input? Or do you have input on this? I feel like opening up the dialogue for that actually gets that person to be bought in. It's something you learn as a manager, and I've actually been a retail manager for a while, but if you include someone in the decision making of what's going on, they will feel like they have ownership or part ownership of that. Therefore, they're going to be more bought into it than they were before. I know personally I dealt with having a spouse that I didn't really maybe have the greatest communication with, and it kind of pushed them away from that, and it made it really hard for them to support me or me to feel supported by them when it came to streaming. And it just makes it really difficult, because again, this is not an easy thing to do, but make sure that you have that support system. And I'm telling you right now, if you find those friends that are your ride or die support system friends, do not lose them. Hang on to them for dear life, because in this industry, it's really hard to find people that you just, I want to say vibe, but I don't even want to say vibe, like, got a vibe. Do you want to come along for the ride? All right. When you find people that you connect with and you mesh well with, and you guys can be there for each other, it is super important not to lose that, because I'm telling you right now, this can make you feel very siloed. And a lot of times too, I feel like we sacrifice our social lives to be able to go ahead and chase this dream of ours. So make sure that you find that support system that you are 100% holding on to them. Those were the quick 5 things I wish I knew before I started streaming. Hopefully these tips helped you out. Please let me know, what would you actually give a tip to yourself if you started streaming again? Or what would you do if you could go back and say, hey, stream Fortnite because it's gonna blow up. No, but like, really, what kind of advice would you give yourself? I'm really interested to hear about it. Please leave it in the comment section below. If you guys like this video, make sure you hit a thumbs up. It helps me out and it's absolutely free, and I greatly appreciate it. If you guys like this content, feel free to hit that subscribe button, or if you have any questions about this video or any other video on my YouTube channel, feel free to come visit me on Twitch. All my links below. I stream multiple times a week, and I'd really love to see you in there chatting it up. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hopefully this helped you out. Hopefully this can help another fellow streamer out, or maybe this can kind of get your wheels thinking about what would you have given yourself for advice. So that way, when you are talking to another streamer that might be starting out, what would you tell them? So thank you guys so much for watching this. I'm out. Till the next one. Have amazing streams. See ya.